Hey friends, this is Willow Idlewild with bl00cyborg again, and I'm here today to tell you about an Airtable that I built out to track my contracts that ends you up with a lovely dashboard like this. So first I have a no-nonsense lead generation form where I fill this in when I'm having a conversation with a new person, with their name and email and business name, names of other people that they mention, if it's via a certain person, and any notes. That then leads into this area that has a lead and clients and past clients if they're all wrapped up, if they're on pause or if they're an ally that we're talking together. It has this really neat thing where if you put in a website here, it will find a logo for you on the internet, and you can replace the logo if you don't like it, but it's really neat. So from there, maybe we decide to do a contract together. And in that case, I have another little form where you fill in which client it is and what kind of work you'll be doing, a short phrase, the type of work. These are the kinds of work that I do. So I like to keep track of what kind of work is generating, or what area is generating what kind of income. A link to a proposal doc if I have one so far, the bid that I put in, the rate that I'll be working at, and a target in date. This projected invoicing by month helps calculate some things. I hope to at some point automate this projected invoicing month being pulled from this target end date, but I haven't figured that out quite yet. So then we have all of these different contracts in flight, and the stage that they're at. And when something gets moved from in flight into invoiced, it gets a contract date automatically added to it that helps with the dashboarding and things, which is rad. Expenses are tracked in here, assigned to a specific contract with a date, amount, whether or not we're asking for reimbursement, and the receipt. This helps with taxes later. And then when we're ready to, send an invoice, we use this table and put in how many hours were worked and how much external help we had, how much unpaid time we put in. All of this helps calculate an actual hourly rate. And then you put in the invoice amount and the date that it was invoiced. From there, when you receive a payment, there's another little no-nonsense form. You can also just hand enter all this stuff into the database, but it's sometimes fun to just have a single point to enter the data with the date and the amount paid and how they paid their bill. That you could hand enter here, or you can use the form, but it suggests how much to set aside in taxes. In California, I tend to set aside a third. I don't actually need to be setting aside that much, but I like to buffer in preparation. And then based on taxes set aside and expenses, I end up with a total take from the contract. Goal hitting is nice to think about how much I want to be making in future months, and then this projected amount is based on how much I think I'll be invoicing by month, and then actual income is how much has been paid so far, and then feels for the month is something that I might make use of if we keep going, so that I have a sense of if I'm over or under estimating how much I could be bringing in. Here is a side quest as I start to build out materials that multiple clients use. I want to still be benefiting from the time that I initially invested in it, and so this is an amount of time that I might put on the invoice because it was involved in creating the material. All of these things are backed by automations, or not all of them, but a lot of them. The goal thing I will probably remove, but the status of declined, like when I move a record, it changes a status to something else. So all of that background leads to these really nice dashboards. So this one has the target income in blue and the projected income based on bids on contracts in orange, and what has actually come in, what has actually been paid in yellow. This has how much I have bid in total, how much has been signed for, how much has been invoiced for so far, and how much has been paid so far. This is another way of looking at that, of like, I actually ended up invoicing a bit more than I had bid for. And invoicing, there's still a lot of money to come in here. And then here is the pipeline of funds coming in, both work that is in flight and signed, and work that is not yet signed. This is another way of looking at that. So these are the different areas of work that I do, and where the money is coming from in bids, and where the money has actually come from as money has come in from invoices. We can also look at the workload based on when the contract date is and when the anticipated end date or the actual invoice date are. And that is also broken down by the different areas of work, so that we can see when all the work is happening. And then here is that Kanban board again of where the contracts are at and which ones are in flight and done and things like that. So I love this thing. I've spent a bunch of hours on it. If anyone else wants to make use of it, please let me know, because it is magical. Okay, bye.